I think it's about time. Let's talk my favorite movies of 2016. What's up, movie friends? Aaron Dicer here to talk my favorite movies of 2016. A little different for me. Usually I'm just doing reviews here on the YouTube channel, but kind of expanding a little bit. Plus, I always put this online. I just haven't really done a full video for it. So let's get into it. These are my favorite 41 movies of 2016. Why 41? Because it's my list and I get to choose the number. That's why. But every year it is 41. We're going to count them down in chunks. So we'll do a few videos here. We'll do about 10 per chunk. We'll start with 41 to number 30 on my official list for 2016. Let's start with number 41. This one makes me sad. And here's the reason why. I love Ben Affleck as a director, and Live by Night was supposed to be another amazing movie by him, and it's just not. Here's the thing. It's good enough that I think in hindsight, as people watch it again later down the road, that it will be considered a good film. The problem is it doesn't live up to his other films, and that's why it's all the way down here at number 41. We'll move on to number 40, and you're going to see this a lot in these kind of bottom ones. These are like the B+ movies. They sneak into the top 41, especially in a year like 2016, where I had much fewer A- type movies. These movies are going to be good movies that aren't quite great, like, for instance, number 40, The Finest Hours. The Finest Hours is really a movie I enjoyed quite a bit. I like the effects. I love the story. True stories are going to appear quite a bit on this list, because they really do get to me. And again, it's my favorites. I don't like the best tag. I like the favorites tag. This is a performance by, speaking of Affleck's, Casey Affleck. Not his most known performance of the year. No, that would be Manchester by the Sea. We'll see where that lands. But another great performance by him. I really enjoyed this movie. In at number 39, a surprise for both of us, I'm sure, The Shallows. Blake Lively in basically a shark attack movie. Here's what I love and respect about this movie. It's a very tight and contained movie that never lets you go. Yes, a little bit of it is ridiculous. Yes, it's kind of silly at points. Yes, we shouldn't give sharks this kind of menacing intelligence that for some reason we do. Having said that, I think it works completely as a suspense thriller movie. And there are some scenes in this that I was more on the edge of my seat than any other time this year. If you like suspense, and even if you have a thing for shark movies, I think this is one not to miss. What's this I see? A Michael Bay movie in my favorite movies of the year? Yeah, 13 Hours, Secret Soldiers of Benghazi was an intense and amazing film. Another true story, another one that feels like you're on the edge of your seat the entire time. Great performances here. And really an insight into how the military works in the modern era in a way that I rarely get to see. There's something weird about enjoying military action because of how real it is and how awful it is. And yet I think it's valuable for us to understand that this is a real part of our world, and 13 Hours does that really well. In at number 37, we're going with the remake of Pete's Dragon. I really enjoyed this. Love the performance by the kid in this, which is going to be crucial. Thought the effects on Elliot were really interesting, somehow believable, even though it was a furry dragon. I'm not quite sure how they pulled that off. The emotion of it worked for me. I know Disney is getting flack for remaking all their movies. Here's the problem. They keep doing a good job with it. These are good movies, and I think Pete's Dragon lives up there as one of my favorites of the year. In at number 36, I'm going with Patriots Day, another Mark Wahlberg, Peter Berg collaboration on a recent traumatic event. I got to tell you, I think the Berg brothers do a great job with this stuff. Mark seems to fit in with Peter Berg's direction style perfectly. This won't be the only collaboration by them on the list. We'll have to see where Deepwater Horizon lands. But Patriots Day is pretty good. I really enjoy the authenticity of it. I enjoy the emotion of it. I like the intricate look at how the system works through these events. John Goodman, Kevin Bacon, all doing great work here. Patriots Day is a really interesting watch. Even though it just happened 3 years ago, I felt like I was seeing the events through a whole new lens. Somebody tell me how they keep making good Kung Fu Panda movies. I'm not sure. Kung Fu Panda 3 comes in at number 35 for me. I keep going into them thinking, okay, you're going to suffer from the Ice Age effect eventually, right? Those movies just get worse and worse and worse, too many characters. But they have a way to hone in on whatever the new story is in a way that keeps it interesting. The visual art style is a big part of it as well. The Kung Fu Panda art style in this is absolutely incredible, visually stunning, and it's funny. It's just a good time at the movies. Whether you're a kid or adult, I think you can have a good time with this one. Moving on to number 34, it's Queen of Katwe. Yeah, a chess movie. Haven't loved a chess movie this much since Searching for Bobby Fischer, which is a great movie, by the way. If you haven't seen it in a while, go back, check it out. Queen of Katwe is also great. I love this story. 10-year-old chess phenom from Uganda who uses chess as a way to pull her family from their situation. It's beautifully told. Another true story again. Just hits me in the right spot, a lot of these things. Plus, it's done so well. Plus, great performances here. Lupita Nyong'o is wonderful in this. I think she really gives a sense of how a mom would react to this beyond just the pride, but also the jealousy and kind of the interesting things that happen within a family. I thought this movie was honest in that way and really enjoyed it. In at number 33, Don't Think Twice, a story about an improv troupe dealing with what it means to have relationship in a community like that. Speaking of Community, Gillian Jacobs from Community is one of the stars in this. It's done by Mike Birbiglia. He's got such a great voice and instinct for what makes something authentically human. And you just feel like this is a real troupe of comedic actors who are trying to do life together with all the realities that that entails. He acts in it, by the way, as well, and does a fine job. I really enjoyed this. It's funny, it's sweet, it's clever, it's bittersweet. It's got all the authenticity of humanity that you would expect for something Birbiglia does. In at number 32, the first of several animated films that are going to make this list, The Red Turtle. This one caught me by surprise. How beautiful is this movie? It is gorgeously animated, absolutely beautiful, and beyond that, what an incredible metaphor for life, commitment, marriage, loneliness, all those things. This is a movie that, when looked at literally, is something completely different than when you look at it metaphorically. And I think where it really lives, where it really swims, I should say, is in that metaphoric area. And in that area, it becomes almost transcendent. A real beautiful watch. Very little dialogue in the entire movie, and that's a trick to pull off. It's one worth seeing. Moving on to number 31, maybe my first little bit of controversy. Deadpool. Why down this low? Well, if you watch my review, you know I didn't like it quite as much as everybody else. Great movie. First of all, Ryan Reynolds is perfect for this character, obviously. It is a passion project. You can feel it on screen that he loves who Deadpool is. It's hilarious. It's so clever in its meta humor. It's not just throwaway meta jokes. They are very clever meta jokes, and the raunchiness isn't just throwaway raunchiness. There's some really clever raunchiness, if that makes sense. Having said that, I think upon repeat viewings and further down the road, this movie is going to diminish a little bit because the plot doesn't quite fit together. It all seems a little contrived. There's moments in this movie that don't make sense, and I don't want to go into specifics because I don't want to give anything away. I just remember thinking, with a few tweaks here or there in the story and a few tweaks here or there in the characters around Deadpool, we could have seen a transcendent movie. But for me, it was right in that B+ range. It as such lands at number 31. So there you go. Video number 1. Again, we'll do a couple more of these to get all the way down to my number 1 favorite movie of 2016. As always, feel free to click around. Find me on Twitter, Aaron Dicer, AARONDICER. Subscribe to the podcast, SiftPop, SiftPop, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. We do movie reviews here at Your Movie Friend 2 every weekend, and you can check those out at yourmoviefriend.com or by subscribing on YouTube. And of course, as always, here's 5 extra seconds to hit the subscribe logo. We'll put it right down in this corner. Just click it and you'll be subscribed.